Are you interested in making a really cool propane tank stove out of an old tank? You're on the right channel. Let's go through it. And depending on your needs, this flue size, your overfire exhaust for the smoke, can be pretty much any size you want. You could make this even out of black pipe. It really depends on what your application is. Bear in mind that you will lose heat through an overly large pipe or flue, and that is of course compensated with a damper like so. And whenever you open the door to put in wood, you of course want to open up the damper so you don't fill the room with smoke. It's kind of a no-brainer, but then once the fire is going, slowly close the damper to conserve heat. But with this stove, this actually has a heat exchanger in it, which is going to really conserve a lot of heat and retain it in the unit. Let's go through how I built this. And you can get old propane tanks from junkyards. Maybe you got some laying around. They changed the valve codes. A lot of people got stuck with a lot of old tanks and are wondering what to do with them. This is a great project. No welding on any of my stoves. They're all bolt, which is a lot better because you won't crack any welds. All my stoves are 100% recycled parts, and I'll show you how I did that. The only thing new here is the flue. And let's start with the inside and bottom. We'll work our way up, and I'll show you how all this is. First of all, you got a door latch, all handmade. It's just plate steel that's been cut and formed, and then there's an overlatch there and a door spring so that you can lock the door. And the bottom legs are black pipe with bolt and washers that are spaced evenly, drilled through the bottom of the tank, and it won't rock or anything if you do it right, like so. Let's open up the door and show you the inside. And if you need to know how to safely devalve a tank, maybe you got an old tank laying around that maybe it's got gas in it, maybe it doesn't. You can see many videos on YouTube how to safely do this. You can see some of my previous videos on how to safely do this. It can be difficult or it can be easy, you know. If you have any questions or hesitant at all, don't do it. Okay. First of all, my door, this is an old standard house door hinge, and I got washers as spaced in between the hinge and the sidewall so that the door will snug evenly. The door, you actually want to cut off another tank because you want the door to be bigger than the opening so no smoke leaks out. And every propane tank is put together with a big seam here on the inside, as you can see, right around the tank, and that's where they welded it and seamed it together to make two halves of one. You want to grind that down on both sides so you can shut the door nice and snug like that. For my underfire grate, it's just an old grill that I've cut to fit. Keep the wood off the bottom. Keep good airflow going, like so, as you can see. My underfire air vent, you can see on the inside, is a large, long bolt with washers. And I'll show you how this works from the inside first. So that's closed. That's open. Closed. Now you notice there's still a gap even when it's closed because you gotta have at least a little bit of airflow for combustion. And here it is on the outside, and I've actually reused the valve handle off the valve that was off of the tank and drilled through it with this and put two nuts on each side with a washer to hold it. And this assembly here is part of a flange from a car exhaust system. Now I got a little tiny cook surface here. You probably noticed. This is just bent steel with 3 bolts drilled through the side of the tank to hold it level. Make sure it's level, and you can put a mess kit cup there or a can of beans or whatever you want to heat up. Like I said, it really depends on the application, what you're using the stove for. Maybe this is for a deer blind, maybe this is an ice shack, maybe this is your garage. Whatever you got, custom design it for your needs. This pipe flange here is an old industrial pipe flange that's just drilled right through the top of the tank. And when I devalved this, I took my angle grinder and it kept going a circle, going a circle, and going a circle until I got this the same size as this flange that I had, so for my pipe fit. And we'll go look down the top into it now. And you can see down there's my damper, as you can see. And you probably see something else down in there. Let's take a look at that, because that's the heat exchanger. Take this out. And the heat exchanger is basically the principle is you want to divert the smoke and heat a little bit before it goes right out the flue. So basically you got a half surface like this that it runs underneath and then it goes up and out, retaining heat because it makes it bypass that surface. So I took another old piece of industrial part and I bolted it on the side to make a bypass for the smoke. So the smoke rises, goes past this, then goes out the flue. That's your basic heat exchanger. And it'll make this stove a lot more efficient. Some stoves even have 2-3 of them built in. And I don't know if you can see that from the inside. We'll try to take a look for you. It's up there. There it is. See, it's just bolted in through the side of the tank. There's the rest of that door hinge. You can see how it's just a bent piece of steel to hold that little brace that comes down and pinches the door in place. And when you make that, bend it so it holds the door perfectly closed. A little trick there for you. And all the whole stove's treated inside and out with high temp black spray paint. And then, because, you know, obviously a lot during the year you're not going to use it, and you want to keep it rust free, what have you. And that's basically it. And you can see how this wood opening is smaller than the door. See how that works? So it's nice and tight. There's the detail on the outside hinge. Very, very cool. Save a lot of money. You can go to Slipstream Wash and check out my videos on how to safely devalve these and tricks to do it. I think the video title is Easy No Weld Way to Build a Propane Tank. And you'll see an easy way to do that. You won't have any problems. And there's that damper on the outside. It's not a fancy one, it's just an HVAC damper. That's all you need. And this stove really will cook some heat. I think when I tested this, it was something like 28,000 BTUs while burning jack pine. And that's a lot from this. I mean, you can see how big my hand is on this unit. That's a lot of heat. Very cool project. I built a lot of these. You can see that detail when I put on the legs. And I just left this original leg stand on there. In fact, it makes it better because the legs rest up to the side of this, and it actually gives you a guide when you drill these and put these on here to show you where to put them evenly. And I just have 3 legs, not 4. You really don't need 4. It doesn't rock or anything. And I wouldn't make these very long if I was you, because it will eventually make it tippy because you're getting higher, higher, and higher. You just need to keep it off the floor so you don't have any heat issues. And the only thing you need for this project is bolts, nuts, washers, a good